welcome once again to another episode of Nook's Tavern, your podcast for all things Animal Crossing. My name is Kurt Booten, otherwise known as Kurtstable, and with me is my ever-present partner in all things Animal Crossing, Mr. Philip Keating.
Hi, Kurt. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, Phil. What's going on with you?
Oh, man, it's been a heck of a week here in City 17.
Yeah?
I,
So,
yeah, I struck gold
oh,
in the nip market this week. I, I decided to roll the dice and get $775,000 worth of nips. And
wow.
within one day, the good friend of the show, Kilted Pipe Guy, who is a lovely community member and in the Discord, said, "Hey, I'm trading at 440 something a nip," and he let me in. And boy, howdy, did I pay off not only the studio that we're sitting in today, but my entire house is paid off thanks to him.
Holy cow. I was cash poor when it came to Sunday morning turnip purchases. So I only bought 100,000 turnips. But thanks to a friend of the show, Kilted Pipe Guy,
And that's
I I
eh,
went and sold.
and that's the
And
thing,
yeah.
though. But like, he went above and beyond. He was at work, and he ran his switch off the hotspot of his phone just to let people in. Man,
Yep.
I
Did the
ho-
same thing for me. It was amazing.
it, wa-
He's great.
it's incredible, and I hope everybody who went in there and went to Azkaban, which is his island, at least gave him some sort of a tip as a thank you for not only letting people in, but also like running a hotspot off his phone. That's insane.
Right. I was just gonna ask if you tipped him.
I tipped him a piece of furniture. I tipped him. Oh boy, what's the one that everybody wants?
Nook Mile tickets?
Nope. No.
Bells?
It's the furniture bit. Hold on, I got it.
Oh.
I got it. I tipped him an ironwood kitchenette.
Ah.
So I know a lot of people are looking for that, and it's a harder piece to get. So I've been tipping people for that.
Yeah, I actually just I tipped him some bells and a Nook Miles ticket.
That's great.
Because I didn't have anything else. So
So also, I had Red come back this week with a real painting, so I picked that up. I found out the hard way that you can only get one painting a day, no matter if it's your island or not,
yep.
because I don't read.
Yeah.
And I was going
Right.
to other people's islands trying to pick up artwork, and unfortunately, I tipped them before I could actually purchase the art. So it's all right. It happens, and I hope they enjoy their kitchenette as well. And strangely enough, I signed in today to find Leaf sitting in my plaza, even though we're after Earth Day.
Well, I would say that has got to be kind of a sign, right? I mean that he is going to be a more permanent fixture on the island, and it does leave or lend a little bit more credence to the thought that maybe he'll be part of the shop
Well, I would
at some
think
point.
you would think so, right? But I think they're
Yeah.
probably going to handle it kind of like the Able Sisters, where you have to spend a certain amount of money until he finds it, reliable enough to move into the island.
Right. Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. Speaking of which, do you think Sable will end up in? I mean, not Sable. Label will end up in the Able Sisters shop.
Oh, I think at some point, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense that she would. Normally, people that hang around that plaza end up moving in at some point.
So that also begs the question for guys like Kix, where do they end up?
Well, see, did they have kicks in the store in the other games? I cannot
I don't
remember.
I don't think so.
And with the dressing room in this game where you can get new shoes every day, I don't know. I don't know because we have that dressing room option, you know?
Right. And then it'll, even if he gets in there, it'll get crowded, and I don't know. It'll be weird.
It
It'll be
would be
weird. So
weird. But I mean, he's enough of a name and a character where he got his own amiibo. So it's
right.
it's a curious move just to have him come in every so often.
So what's the best thing that happened on your island this week?
One of my islanders moved out.
Oh no.
which is fine. She was Tammy the bear. She was one of my original three, and I liked her a lot. But it was kind of time to get new blood in there,
Right.
and I have been Nook mile hunting for a new roommate now. But I wish her well. I don't know what the Nooks did with her once they helped her move off of my island, but I will hopefully see her again, and we can talk about good old times and how much fun we had on our island.
Right. There is one animal that I've seen on other islands that I really would love to have come to my island, and it's that weird looking bunny with no eyes.
Oh yeah. No, I mean I have a list of who I'm hunting for.
Yep.
She's one of them, and I'm sure the live chat's gonna let us know the name of that rabbit. I ran into another issue where I took a Nook mileage, and I found this very beautiful um, anteater, right? Who wants to be a pop star, and she's purple and seafoam green. And I was like, that's really dope, but I already have an anteater on my island.
Right.
I'm going to leave and see what else. And then I get to my second island right after her, and it's her again. And I was just like, I know this is a sign, but I'm going to ignore it, and I'm going to back out of this island again. So I still really want, one of the mechanical villagers, either Sprocket or Ribot. I love those two so much. So
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about them, but
and friend
yeah.
of the show, Paul Klotz, he's got Ribot, who
Oh
was
man.
it went to his
Campsite.
campsite, and he
Yeah.
just was like, yeah, you got to move in now, brother.
Yeah. I got a new villager or islander. I keep doing that. It's just from all the other ones, but named Okapi
Oh,
or no
Poppy,
Poppy, who is an Okapi.
Poppy Okapi.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Mad TV character.
Yeah. No kidding. Well, what was that emotion that you just did?
Encouraging.
No, was it really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah. Otherwise, I still am waiting for Red to come back. I'm not. I'm not getting him.
And you're not the only one that I've heard say this. Like a lot of people said that since the original time that he was in town, he has not been back. And I've gotten him twice already.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it only because I don't care if I buy the fake artwork. I'll just display it. That's cool. I've got no issue with that. Although I do want to fill out the museum, but I just want him to come back so I can at least get started. Really, I mean I bought the one initially from him in the courtyard, and then the day after, which is when he showed up on the beach.
Yeah.
And that was it. So
Yeah, I think Captain Hygiene, when Red first came on, our friend Captain Hygiene threw him into jail because he is well aware of the hijinks that Red has. And after that, he's never been back. So he's like, I guess I shouldn't have falsely imprisoned him without any real evidence. He did give me a real painting, but here we are, and still to this day, no Red on Captain Hygiene's island.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I did get a real painting the very first one I bought in the plaza, but the second one was definitely fake.
Yeah,
So
same. And now
yeah.
it lives downstairs in my new minted music room
Yep.
because my basement right now I'm converting into an arcade, and I found a beautiful retro arcade carpet QR code.
Nice.
So I've loaded that in, and now it's just getting arcade cabinets, pinball machines. There's a foosball down there, and I'm really going to focus on getting that arcade pretty set, and then allowing that second room where the studio used to be into just a straight up music room.
Yep. Well, where the studio used to be on in your house is where I have my music room. I need to move it. I need to move it to the attic or to the basement because I'm running out of space.
Wow.
Um, yeah, I got a second piano this week, the white upright, and I'm going to probably keep that as is, not customize it yet. And then I today, right before the show, I got the DIY pattern for the music stand.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
yeah, it was very cool. I was very happy. So it's coming along. It's coming along. I'm also taking steps to plant musical instruments around the plaza so that when and I always have a record player out there, so music's playing.
Yep.
So the Islanders will play the musical instruments or sing,
Yeah.
and they're doing it pretty regularly now, and it's awesome.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
That's absolutely cool. I'm still hunting for an upright piano. So
Oh, are you really?
yeah, not I don't want the white one. I want like a if there's just a wood one, like a brown one is the one that I'm looking for. Something
Yeah,
a
I'm
little
trying.
bit more Tom Waitsy, and I'll beat up a little bit out of tune maybe. So
Right. Well, and I'm actually still looking for the grand piano.
and I had one.
Yeah. Yep.
I
I'll
had
get
one.
them. I'll get
So
them. I've got a couple ideas.
they're expensive.
They really are. I did pick up a bass guitar this week as well.
Like an electric bass?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. So that's cool. And I think what I'm gonna end up having multiple music rooms in my house, I think. And so one of my ideas is to set it up or set one of the rooms up like a big band stage with custom signs in front of where the seats would be,
Of
and then
course.
place the instruments there.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing a beachside recording studio, man. I'm gonna get some paneling and put the panels up to block it in right on the beach. It's gonna be dope. You'll see. I'll get
Well,
around to it.
when the weather gets better, maybe we can consider not recording indoors, but recording to outdoors on the beach or something.
Well, it's gonna like snow this weekend where we
Yeah, no
live,
kidding.
so
Yeah.
nothing like a nice mid-March, mid-May snowstorm to really get the blood pumping.
Yeah, we're supposed to be getting that as well.
Yeah,
I'm not happy.
yeah, it'd be fun. Maybe in the future we'll move this out into the beach or on the rocks.
Yeah. Or maybe on location somewhere.
Oh, that'd be dope as well.
Yeah.
So, Kurt, we've had some data mining going on, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
what have people pulled out of all this data mining?
So there's been a bunch of things, and honestly, the biggest data miner right now appears to be Ninja on Twitter. And Ninja, one of the things that came out of that was um, mystery islands. There were more islands mapped out in the game than what are available right now,
Interesting.
including and I saw an island that was all blank, like nothing on the island, just it was all grass. Um,
Scorpion Island?
well, my guess is that that's actually like a template for
Sure.
the programmers to use, so that we probably won't get that. But I also saw um, an island that was full of money trees.
Oh.
You just go and all trees you shake and they just drop the bags.
What?
Yep. So that would be really cool to
That
get.
would be incredible.
Yeah. So there's a lot more going on there. The other big thing that I saw was there was a video, and it might have been Switch Force that I saw this on, but where there was when you go to Harv's Island and you talk to your pilot, the pilot will give you the opportunity, and this isn't in the game yet. I checked, but the pilot will give you the opportunity to take the stuff that's in your pocket and either put it directly into your storage or sell it in the Nook's cranny box. That kind of you take a cut in what you get as if you were selling it in Nook's cranny box.
Sure.
But my concern is that if you do that on Harv's Island, who cares? What are you going to get off Harv's Island?
I can think of a couple things you might come home with
Okay.
from Harv's Island.
That's fair. That's fair. But let's say we take it to a mystery island, and you land on Tarantula or probably Scorpion Island now.
Yeah.
That's a never-ending supply of money.
That's true, and they've done this before in New Leaf. That when you would take Captain's boat onto an island, anything that you caught would be put into that storage container, and then once you get home to your island, it would then transfer into your pockets.
Right.
Right? You would have to go and sell whatever's in your pockets, and then come back to that box and pick everything out. But that was like a set. I think it was like a set 2 lines in there.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't the Dropbox like we have now because the Dropbox wasn't available then.
Right. But I just wonder if that kind of breaks the economy. right? Because if literally you all you have to do is luck into one of those islands, and then all of a sudden, if you have enough time that night, you you get millions, millions and millions.
True, and that's why maybe the way that they did it in New Leaf, where it's a standard storage box that has 12 spaces, so it
Right.
allows you to catch more without really, spending 5 hours on the island just taking a 20% cut off of everything.
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And I mean, honestly, things like the Money Island that I described, that could also be just a cheat for the testers.
That's true.
That kind of thing too. We just don't
We
know.
don't know anything right now.
Otherwise, there's been some other Animal Crossing news from this week. Apparently, Nintendo's pretty happy.
Well, it's very strange. It turns out that this game that we're playing is very popular. So popular that in 11 days, the first 11 days of sales, it sold 11.77 million copies. And that is only in 11 days. So that's from when it released to March 31st, putting it in the top top 7 of all selling Switch games of all time. And
That's crazy.
it's selling, fast. It's the fastest selling Switch game of all time.
Yep.
So what it is behind? It's behind the Let's Go series of Pikachu and Eevee, the Sword and Shield series of Pokemon, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Smash Brothers, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which still sits at the top is 24.77 million. So we were talking about this in stream when you were streaming on Saturday. Are they going to be able to catch the the elusive Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? And it's possible.
It is.
I mean, if it
is.
sold 11.77 million copies in 11 days, and we still haven't even gotten sales numbers for April, right?
Right.
It's totally possible that it could be somewhere up there around the Breath of the Wild numbers, which would be insane.
And look at what I mean, what we're talking about, right? We're talking about Zelda properties, Mario properties, and Pokemon,
Yeah, yeah.
and Animal Crossing in the same breath. That's never been the case.
I mean, you got to remember, right? Animal Crossing is. Could it be considered B tier? I believe it's C plus tier, right? Nintendo. And that's coming from a diehard Nintendo and Animal Crossing fan. Like,
I was gonna say, I have a hard time putting it in C tier only because I've always enjoyed the game.
well, true, but like if you're putting,
yeah, you're probably right.
you're putting
probably
what
right.
Samus and Metroid is probably B tier. Your Kirby's, your Yoshi games, stuff like that
Right.
is going to
Right.
be in your B tier. I mean, I would say it's B tier, but I don't know, man. I think it's like a C plus tier game, and now it's competing with the big boys.
Yeah.
It's not
yeah.
C tier anymore. I can tell you that much. It's now
Right.
in the face of the company, and
Agreed.
since they haven't released any information on what's coming out for the rest of the year, I could just see this game continue to selling big.
The thing that might help that is if they actually implement some of the quality of life things that we've been talking about,
Correct.
and which curiously enough segues right into this video that was put out by I don't want to mess it up.
Nick Ha.
His name is Nick Ha.
Yep.
And he put together this fake Nintendo Direct that is of the same quality, if not better, than some of the Nintendo Directs I've seen.
Completely.
Amazing video quality level, but the quality of life things that he put in there, like a lot of them we knew about and we want, but then he showed me some other things. I'm going, oh, I absolutely want that. Yes, I want that too. Like so many little fixes that would make the game so much more pleasant. And I love the game.
Yeah, no, same. It's really what all us Animal Crossing fans have been talking about is this video that Nick Ha put out, and how well and detailed and simple, and how Nintendo needs to either just hire him and help with the UI, because like his UI work on this is incredible.
It really is. Like that's been the amazing thing. Like we can say, hey, let us sell or let us put multiple things into storage at the same time.
Yeah,
And he actually appears to have designed an interface to do that that fits into the current interface smoothly,
yeah,
and it just makes sense. It's as if it was designed by Nintendo.
it's so
And
beautiful.
so good, so good. So we have a link in the show notes, and we would encourage everybody to go and take a look at that video. It's amazing. It really is.
Do you think any of this is going to apply into the game in the near future?
Oh, the I hope so. And things like crafting multiples at once, and things like using items from your storage when you're in your house crafting. I think I I want to believe that Nintendo is not deaf to the needs, the wants of the community. The problem is that we've not seen any kind of a community manager,
No, we really haven't, have we?
and that's my concern. And I think part of the problem is that they haven't really needed one up until now.
No, no, and they super need one if there's, let's just say, minimum 11.77 million people are playing this right now.
Right.
That's a big enough fan base that you need a voice, and they never really have had a good community manager, unlike Blizzard, who normally has their community managers are normally famous in the community because
Right.
that's literally their job. But
But if they
they
took the
need
right
somebody.
step, if they took the right step, that could be huge. And talk about driving sales. That
Agreed.
I really think it could be way bigger than they think it would be. It could be, and very exciting possibilities.
What is something from Nick Ha's video that you want the most out of everything? Have you thought about that?
Oh boy, I kind of have. I really do think it's the ability to craft in your house and use items from your inventory, from your storage, automatically.
Okay,
I think that would just solve a lot of problems.
sure.
Um, but I mean, I don't think one of the things that I had been thinking about that I don't think I saw in the video was if you wear a backpack, add to your inventory.
Yeah,
Just give me a few slots.
like just a couple, like an extra 5 or 6.
Yeah, yeah, and then maybe if you're carrying a bag of some sort, maybe add, vary it a little bit, but just give us a little extra. I think that would be really good. I
Yeah,
think that'd be really cool.
I really want the ability to open up my gate from afar.
That improvement that was in his video was amazing.
It's so true because like what people don't know is before we started recording the show, I had everything set and I was like, geez, I have to go down and open up my gate so Kurt can get into the island. I got to spend this 5 minutes of getting out of the studio, getting down to the airport, talking to the dodo for 20 minutes, and then finally opening up the code, giving him the code, and then it takes a lot when, especially we're doing this live in game. I'm against the clock to get started at 8 p.m. live for everybody. So it's a little bit of a hassle, but to just go into my Nook phone, hit the Dodo app and say, you know, online play, best friends only, Dodo code, that would be beautiful. And then just have everything work on the back end.
Right. Yeah, it would be great, and we have enough close friends in the games that it'd be nice to just say, yeah, just come to my island whenever you want.
Yeah.
It's all good. Yeah.
And especially if you're doing like nip trading,
Oh my God,
right?
yes.
Because it's what I would really want, and I never thought about it until Nick Ha told me I needed it.
Yeah, no kidding. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
So, and none of what he suggested, I believe, would be terribly difficult to do
No,
from a
no,
mechanic standpoint. He's
probably
not
not.
he's not introducing any weird new mechanics.
No, he isn't. It's really all just quality of life improvements,
Yep. Yep.
which would be dope.
Right. So, yeah, go watch that video. Um, So I guess the next thing would be we've spoken about the way that people have customized their islands, to look like Legend of Zelda
Correct.
and things like that.
Yep.
Um, you saw the video or not the video, but the pictures that came out for the Final Fantasy VII fans.
Yeah, I was yeah, I saw them. I saw them,
Yeah,
and the time release around the remake is just perfect.
yeah. There
So
are pictures of Midgar in the background.
explain
Um,
how this person made Midgar on his horizon.
so it's the weirdest thing. He took the electrical poles and mixed them up with uh, farm silos set
It's
in different angles and whatnot, and it just looks like this amazingly industrial city in the background.
it's incredible,
It's so good.
and I know for myself, spending 4 to 6 hours on Pennsylvania, it probably either took that guy 10 minutes or it took him 10 hours, man. Because I
Yeah,
don't. Some people are just they got an eye for it and they're very quick at doing it, and then there's the rest of us.
exactly.
So,
I think it's probably closer to 10 hours because he probably was sitting there going, "Nope, wrong angle.
but
Go
but
fix it."
that's another thing, right? Getting your camera set perfectly so you can take that picture.
Yep. And
Because
then, just another little stupid little detail, is he made his character kind of look like Cloud,
a little bit,
and was
yeah,
and was holding the staff.
it was perfect.
It was perfect, so good.
Oh man.
All right, so what's next on your list, there, Phil?
Well, what is next on my list, Kurt?
So, one of the things we were going to talk about potentially if we have time, we probably have time, is Nookazon.
Oh, yeah, Nook is
So,
on.
Nookazon, and that is kind of like the online marketplace for trading for goods within the game.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. So what happens is you can go to this website Nookazon, and you can trade bells or Nook Miles tickets for items that you're looking for. Like, I will say, I was tempted, but I'm not going to do it. But I was tempted to spend some bells to get the very last fossil I need to complete my museum.
How many bells were they charging you for that saber-toothed tiger tail?
100,000.
Oh, Bubbo. Oh, and do you want to tell everybody what happened this week with your saber-toothed tiger tail?
Um, I didn't get it. I don't have it.
That's the thing.
Oh,
Because you were an hour late sending me the message,
yes.
and I picked one up and was like, oh, I don't need this, and then sold it right to the twins. And then literally an hour later, you were like, I need this. Who's got it? And I was like,
Right.
oh, I don't want to send him this message. I don't want to send him this. I'm sorry, Kurt.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm just going to stay like this for the rest of the
I
podcast.
felt so bad. And that's,
It's all good.
I need one too. I just need one more thing as well, and I felt so terrible about it.
So, what do you need?
I don't know right now because I don't have it on hand.
I just sold that.
Oh,
So, no, what's funny is, like, part of the reason why I want to complete it is to not just complete my museum, but also to find out what Blather says.
sure. Yeah. Once you get the dinosaurs fully maxed out, I know people have done it. Friends of ours have
I'm
already
sure.
done it. So
Yeah, but I don't want to go and look it up. I know I can find videos of people who've done it and things like that, but I just want to experience it for myself. I want to find out what he says.
I predict in a week that by the time we come back here to twitch.tv/Nooks Tavern at 8 p.m. on Thursday, you will
Nice plug.
still not have it. And thank you.
Yeah, yep. Yeah.
Did we
I'm
want to?
definitely running into those, like, find your 4 fossils. Come on. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Wah, wah.
I mean, it's wah, but you're still getting bells.
No, you are. You are.
Yeah,
You are. It's
I mean,
just-
you're still getting about 20,000 bells if all 4 of them are no good. And
Right.
plus,
Right.
now you can get fossils on Nook Isles. So if
True.
you can go out there and hopefully get Fossil Island and have them all turn up, not be the one that you want.
But I was kind of hoping for there to be eggs left on the mystery islands.
Yeah. Hold on. You load into one and it's whatever holiday just passed. And
Oh,
it's Zipper, right? Just his suit's a little dirty and he's like
right.
he's got a 5 o'clock shadow and he's like, "Oh my lord, I haven't seen anybody in 6
So many
weeks."
kids. So many kids trying to unzip my costume.
And it's just, oh god, it's just
Sitting
stuff
by a
that nobody
campfire.
wants. Yeah, sitting by the campfire, maybe with eggs on a stick as he's trying to stay from starving to death.
Right.
Oh man. Well, on
That-
that weird note,
Yeah.
let's head into the break. For the podcast listeners, enjoy the short break, and for everybody live in chat, stick around for a little bit, and we'll interact with you guys. Oh my god. Burning egg furniture to stay warm. Oh man.
Oh,
That's
man.
funny.
Yeah. Oh, so are we interacting with the chat right now?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Cool.
I still have a whole storage full of eggs. I wonder if I think my controller nope. Here, let me get out of my seat real quick.
All right.
I have roughly a couple hundred eggs, I guess.
Do you really still?
30. Yeah, I do. One,
Oh,
two,
it's
three,
because you
four,
didn't
five,
do
six,
what I did
seven,
which was
9.
did a whole bunch of crafting on that
No,
last day
No, 10.
just to sell because it was 400 every egg that was in the recipe you got 400 bells for.
Yeah. No, I don't.
So,
I figured I'd go around and plant them on people's islands, but I need to remember to make the egg lamps. That's right, hygiene. So I wish I could do something with them, except I guess turn them into bells.
you can make stuff.
I know.
You could do what we've done and we've talked about, and that's just visit friends' islands and bury them
And-
all over their
And
island.
plant. Well, that's the thing, right? The only time I'm really going on friends' islands or for nip sales right now, and it's like, hey,
Yeah.
here's a tip for you. I buried some eggs all around. Thanks for the monies.
Actually, Delphine has a pretty good example.
Yeah.
Craft and make a killing on Nookazon.
That's true. I could, and if I wait even longer, I'm sure that price will go up.
Yeah, because
Like
new
around
players always, right?
September, October, when everyone's doing Halloween, I could start selling the.
Christmas rolls around. Anybody want to buy an egg?
Who's looking to buy an egg here? Huh? I got premium sky eggs, water eggs, leaf eggs. Throw them at your neighbor's house for Halloweens.
I'll give you a zipper weeble for 100 million bells.
100 million bells. It's one of a kind.
Oh,
right.
man.
You want to hop into part 2?
Sure. You
All
want me
right.
to introduce part 2?
Yeah. Ready?
Cool.
Give it 3 seconds and then load in.
And welcome back to the second half of Nook's Tavern. Okay, so thank you for listening to that little ad break we had, and we'll jump right into our community focus segment.
So, we have asked people in the past to hit us up either on Facebook or Twitter or through email about their music rooms, since we both are building one, and we love to see other people's houses and islands and whatnot. And we actually had somebody reach out to us. I'm going to butcher their online name, so stay with me as I do that. And I apologize, but Kylagem from Celador submitted her music room to us today through Facebook, or this within the week to Facebook, and it is wonderful. I really enjoy it.
Is.
So she's got a lovely, patterned carpet in there with a marimba and an acoustic guitar, which she told me was a DIY recipe. I need
Yep.
that.
Me
Like,
too.
I absolutely need that as somebody who carries their acoustic guitar around like it's their energy force. I need it. But she's got a drum set which I'm still looking for as well.
Oh, I have a drum set already. I'm looking for that synthesizer.
And I've had two synths come through, and I just haven't pulled the Mog on it yet. So I I should have let you know because if I knew that I had a baby blue one and I had an orange one come through.
And I just sold it.
Well done.
So it's good, and she's got some nice KK album artwork up on the walls, and
I actually enjoy it more than just her music. Like, I enjoy this entire room because she's got that nice little bookcase right there with her record player on it, and
Yep.
then right to the left is a thing of records, which we were gifted. I was gifted records by Chris Wisdom, All
Yep.
Things Wisdom, and I was so thankful for that. But that's the thing, right? Those records that are perfectly spaced out and aligned on the top of her wall there, with the metronome on top of the locker and a
Yep.
little plant in there. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's very cool. And
And
she
I'll
even has a water cooler for people who get parched while they're performing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we just wanted to shout her out and say it's incredible. I'll never make anything as nice as this. But the best thing about Animal Crossing is looking at other people's beautiful rooms and beautiful islands. So thank you for reaching out and sharing that with us.
Absolutely. And so, to that end, what we want to do is also feature other listeners and watchers of the Twitch stream with your rooms, your scenes. And so, this week, because of things that have been going on around in the community, there are people out on Reddit and out on the internet in general that have been putting together scenes of what's called forced perspective.
I love them. I love them
Eh,
so much.
So good, so good. And what forced perspective really does is it allows you to make a scene in the game that looks either closer or further away than it actually is through just kind of like an optical illusion type thing.
Yeah, it's tricking your brain to believe that things are bigger or smaller than they actually are. And what I've noticed people are doing is they're taking the cliffs at the top of their mountain, I'm sorry, at the top of their island, and building on top of there with like little roads with model cars and the lighthouse as the main focal point on it. Some people are roping it off to make it look like you're standing on top of a ledge looking down on this little road. I can't get enough of it, and
It's so effective.
it's so effective. And I want to do it, but I also just don't want to steal someone else's, forced perspective and do it worse than they already did.
Right.
So
It's funny. I've seen two, like the two main examples that I've seen are the looking down on that rock platform at the top of your island, and you've got the lighthouse, and then people have put like little custom designed roadways or parking spaces and put those little toy cars in there.
the parking spaces really are
Oh
the
my
best,
God.
man. It's the little touches.
The toy cars are perfectly in perspective to the lighthouse.
It's incredible.
And to the windmill and other, and probably to Godzilla if you put him out there. And it's so effective, and it makes your island look like it has so much depth.
Depth.
But I've also seen somebody take that lighthouse and put it at the top of a mountain,
Okay, I haven't seen
and
that
like
yet.
build up to a peak and then put it on top, and it makes the lighthouse look huge
Interesting.
because you're looking up at it and
Yeah.
you're just going, well, I'm way down here. It's got to be enormous up there.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really cool looking.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's
So
dope.
we'd like to see any examples that you guys might have of forced perspective in any scenes that you've created. And you can send those screenshots over to nookstavern@gmail.com.
Indeed. So that's a nice light thing that the community is doing. But as we know with any kind of community, there is a little bit of a darker side to it.
Uh-oh. So what's dark about the community this
Well,
week?
remember when the game first came out and people were doing, silly shots of horror scenes inside Animal Crossing?
Yes, I'm familiar with that.
Well, somebody has taken that and ran with it Evil Imp on YouTube has shot his own Animal Crossing horror movie, all done completely in game, all done with Animal Crossing voiceover and subtitles,
Yep.
and it is incredible. It's absolutely it's oh god, it's chilling at parts,
It really is.
but like to see how he did it or she did it is it's incredible. It really is. And as me as a horror fan, I thought it was just ingenious to somehow set the mood so right but not going over the line because that's
Right.
very easy to do, right? Just keeping it all in game and just working with what you can and the tools that are in the game to make it work. It's genius.
Right. And doing and making it chilling without doing any like you could do gratuitous. We've seen the blood splotches all over the place and people like making kind of like kill rooms in their basements and whatnot. Um, but doing it really without that and just really very much staging the shots and just having music and just it's really tremendously well done.
And that was the thing was the music was just so emotionally grabbing.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite scene out of this? Or a favorite
Oh,
villager that is in this trailer?
well, that bunny rabbit I talked about a little bit earlier
Yep,
with
she's
the no eyes.
yeah, she's in this a lot.
It's just creepy. It's just creepy.
I like Pytro the most. The clown face
Oh,
sheep, ram,
yeah. That sheep?
ram or sheep, one of the two.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
first off, he's my favorite villager because he's so strange
And creepy.
and
I
creepy. That's who I'm hunting for. That is my white whale, but
mean,
that is my clown ram that I will never be able to get. And that scene that this person has done in their horror trailer that takes place in the bathroom with him banging on the door, it's
Yep.
just so
Oh,
it's so good. It's so good.
yeah, it really is. And that let's face it, that clown sheep thing is creepy all alone.
No, he is adorable. He's adorable.
Yeah, adorable.
He's adorable. Leave him
He's
alone.
creepy.
So if you're just listening, we will put this in the show notes so you guys can check it out after the show. And I think it's that time.
Oh, let me go get him.
All right, yeah, go out and get your buddy.
Hey, look, he's not my buddy.
All right, well, is that
I just happen to know him.
is that a fish toy that you? All right,
No,
so everybody,
it's my security blanket.
come with us as we take a look behind the bells, the Nook Syndicate story. I see you.
Should I?
I see you. Come out here.
Yeah, but uh
Come on.
okay, fine.
Here, let me give you a little bit of encouragement.
All right. Oh, okay. So,
How was your week, Bagman?
oh, it was fraught. It was fraught with peril and just avoiding the quote unquote authorities. So just to this week's going to be a little different. Just to show you that my real agenda isn't to just take down Tom Nook, although that is part of my agenda. But it is to root out all corruption and crime in Animal Crossing.
Is there
Uh,
corruption and crime in Animal Crossing?
Well, we've all had a recent visitor, Jolly Red, as he's known.
Oh
And-
man, he's my cousin. I
Yeah.
love him.
Okay, so you're an accomplice.
Well, no,
And,
I'm a cousin. I get his cousin discount. That's
Oh,
just.
yeah.
I'm not part of the family, but I feel a little bit
Yeah.
friendlier with him when he calls me his
Yeah.
cousin. I guess that's
Yeah.
the Jersey in me.
The cousin discount. All right, so basically, he's the thing about Jolly Red is that he is much more brazen than Tom Nook. Like Tom Nook, he tries to be the crime lord, but he tries to operate within the quote unquote system.
Okay. Yeah.
He does these no interest loans, but just holds it over you until you have to move away.
Well, I'm
Or
no longer a slave to the raccoon. I have fully paid off my house.
so far.
What?
But try to make island improvements.
No.
How much does it cost for a ramp that nobody helps with? Okay, well, no, let's not go down there. We've gone down there before. Okay, so anyhow, Jolly Red is way more like the huckster from the Wild West who would go from town to town to swindle folks. Um, just if I don't know if you knew about this about him, but back in the day, he originally opened up a tent called the Black Market. He called it the Black Market right from the very first Animal Crossing. And clearly, he did not give one Nook's patootie if he was caught. He used to have to hunt him down and all of that and to find him so that he would sell you these treasures.
I mean,
Well,
they are. They're very rare pieces of art and statues and a bunch of furniture I don't really care about.
yeah. Well, after his initial time in the original Animal Crossing, he started setting up right outside of town hall. I mean, he would just set up there. Nobody would say anything. Tom Nook certainly wouldn't say anything to him. And
Hmm.
though even then he would say, okay, well, you need to have a password to get in to see what he was selling, what you're selling, and you just have to pay. You have to pay 3,000 bells to see what he was selling originally. He would charge you to enter his shop.
I mean, every venue that I've ever gone to has an entry fee. It's just like paying the ticket to see the band. And then they charge you for merch.
That seems insane to me. But okay, okay,
Essentially.
so fine. So now in New Horizons, he sails a boat from island to island, giving players the opportunity to buy rare paintings.
And oh god, I'm so happy that he was here. I actually have two authentic, beautiful pieces of art now in my museum where they belong.
How many do you have that are not in your museum?
I mean, I don't. I mean, I have a few.
Most of what he sells is fake.
Are you saying that he is selling snake oil paintings?
Yes, snake oil paintings. Only, honestly, if you were trying to buy authentic snake oil, it would probably be fake. So, and Blathers is the only one who can seem to identify this.
So
You,
then, why doesn't Blathers go up to the tent and call out Red?
well, if you bring a painting to it, so think of Blathers as like Antiques Roadshow, right? You go there and you bring in a painting, and they go, "Yeah, this is a print, or this isn't the real thing, and it's worth X amount." That's fine. No big deal. Like people have counterfeit or fake versions of real artwork all the time, and you can usually buy them from a reputable dealer. But Red is trying to sell them as real. Now, you used to have to go to Lyle. Do you remember Lyle?
I do remember Lyle. Whatever
So
happened to Lyle?
Lyle, most recently has been in charge of the HRA to rate your island and rate your house.
That's right.
Um, but he also used to sell forgery insurance
Mm.
for the paintings. Were Lyle and Red in cahoots? I don't know. And nobody's seen Lyle in a very long time. So all I'm saying is Nook, while he is a crook, is not the only one.
You're saying that
And
it's a trickle down crook economy?
well, no, because there is some thought that Nook and Red were at one point competitors. I know. Now,
What?
that's why I believe Red goes around island to island, and he isn't really careful. He's just going off, ripping people off, and then leaving them with their paintings or artwork. We'll see. We'll see how it goes in the future. But right now, unfortunately, it's the only source of artwork, and it's not like he's there every day. So people are torn between getting ripped off and getting some real artwork. and only those with the most discerning eyes can tell the difference.
Hmm.
Oh, wait. Oh, did you hear that? I thought
No, no,
I
I'm pretty sure it's the
nope,
voices in your head
nope,
again.
no. I thought I heard a boat. I thought I heard a boat. Boat horn. Yeah. I got to get out of here.
Boat
All right,
horde.
boat horn.
All right,
Um,
Edward Bagman.
how'd you
Thanks.
know my name?
Get get out of here. Oh boy, once again, just totally enlightened by our mystery guest. Hey, Kurt.
Hey, he turned out my candles.
Yeah,
There we
he
go.
did, didn't
All right.
he?
Yep.
I think he's. I think he thinks that's a way that Nook can listen to our conversations. I don't know. He's still not aware that we literally broadcast this to the internet, but
Oh, I don't think we should tell him.
oh no, not yet. It's
I-
not yet. So, is there anything else that we should go over, Kurt?
Not game wise. I really don't think so. I think we've covered most of everything. We do need to come up with a name of the episode, but we'll figure that out afterwards.
Yeah, and that's why the chat is here to help us figure that out. So,
Right.
you guys can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, and Twitch at Nook's Tavern. If you have a moment, and we know you do, please head on over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review. Like our newest 5-starer.
Milkolate or Milkolate, who I believe is in the chat room, and I hope they are. And they wrote their review that said, "As chill and relaxing as the game itself. I'm glad to finally found a podcast that's dedicated to Animal Crossing. The pod mixes news with tips and some light banter at a nice pace. Kurt and Philip are awesome hosts, and Behind the Bells cracks me up every episode. Keep it, guys."
Well,
I think he meant keep it up, guys, but that's okay. It's all great.
thank you, Omni or Milkolite, because you left us a written review and you were in the first 10. We had our in-house studio artist Emily Swan craft you a wonderful picture, and there it is on stream if you are in chat. So he asked for a bike with coffee and chess, and we want to just thank you for taking the time and leaving us that review. I will hit you up on Twitter with a copy of this as soon as we get off the show. So I want to just say thank you for taking the time and doing that.
Absolutely.
Let me put that back down underneath the video. There we go. Thank you to Emily Swan for our album art and the wonderful weekly art that she has produced for every episode, and of course for the first 10 written reviews on iTunes. Support her over at patreon.com/aswannameemily. And if you have a story of your island that you'd like to share for the community focus part of our show, please email it or through Facebook or through Twitter at nookstavern@gmail.com is the email address. Look, there's still a few of you that have left written reviews that I have no contact information for. If you've left us a written review, you need to email the show and tell me who you are so we can start getting these prints for you. There's only 4 spots left. So if you've done it, you got to let us know, right? Be like Milkolate and get out there and get in touch with us. You can join the wonderful community over on our Discord at tiny.cc/Nooks Tavern, all underscore or lowercase on that, with a Patreon, possibly coming soon with an in-studio prize on that. So we'll talk about that more once we get around to it. Kurt, where can people find you?
I can be found all over the place on the internet. On Twitter, I'm at VO by Kurt. On Twitch, I'm at Kurtstable. That's Kurt's Table. And FTH Beyond, Mondays and Thursday nights. Throw Amigos to the Stream Apocalypse over on GSU Media on Sunday nights. And my podcast, Storytime with Kurt, wherever all fine podcasts are found.
And it is a good time to watch Kurt whisk you off to sleep with his wonderful baritone voice reading a book. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram at Imaginary Nomad. I'm part of Botched, a D&D podcast, which is a not safe for work comedy show that we use D&D as our storytelling elements. We're now doing that live on Twitch every Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, so check us out there. And then on my own stream, it's every Monday night. I do Philip Scared Stupid around 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, where I just play horror games. And the chat laughs at me for being very scared of everything. Anything else, Kurt?
Just all things Animal Crossing will continue to happen right here on the Nook's Tavern Twitch channel.
And I love that. And thanks, Kurt. And thanks to the live audience for coming out this week. Shake them trees and catch them bees.
See ya.
All right, let's end the podcast recording, please.
And ending.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Let me just get a second to get this podcast saved.
And I'm just going to take a look at the chat room while you're doing that.
Okay, that is saved.
Are we still live on the chat room?
Yeah. No. I'm not
awesome.
going to kill the stream.
Great.
I'm never going to kill the stream. Why don't you come with me, Kurt, and I'll show you my music room real quick, and I'll show everyone in chat, too.
Cool.
See, look, we have seats up there for 7 people. 6 people. 7 people. One of those numbers.
One of those numbers.
Let me get our names off the middle. You just gonna leave? All right.
No, I left. Me too.
Thanks, bud. Let me show you this cool thing I've been working on. No, I'd rather not. It's almost like we're just work buddies, right? The show's over and you just leave.
Hold on, I gotta get into my comfortable outfit. All right.
As you hear the car starting outside, let me get comfortable, and you just leave.
Okay. No, I just need to change.
OmniBike Man, thank you so much for leaving that review for us, man. I really appreciate it, especially posting it twice. You didn't have to do that, but I really appreciate it. Oh man, I got a stuffy nose today.
Must mean snow's coming.
Stop it. So here's my music room so far. I've got 2 different effects, and then 2 amps. I got a couple pedals, but I haven't lined them out yet.
Oh, you got the 2 different effects boxes.
Yeah.
Nice. I've got one of them. I don't have both of them.
It's funny. I had one sent to me. That blue one was sent from one of my friend's sons, and then Shannon sent me the white one. Do you have a marimba?
I do.
Okay, because I got 2 of them.
Yeah,
so.
I also built the bamboo drum, which is kind of like a small-looking one of those.
And this is my my library wallpaper that cost...
Which is pretty cool.
10 books had to craft that out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right, and let me show you what I'm working on in the basement.
Oh, boy. Is it safe down there?
Oh, it's safe. We're family-friendly, remember. So this is the arcade that I'm working on.
That's a crazy floor. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's my 1980s arcade floor.
Oh, the foosball table.
It moves, man.
It moves.
Yeah. So I have a couple friends who have, what are they called? Pinball tables.
Yep.
And
I've
they're
got one
going.
of these.
They're gonna let me catalog it and pick it up myself. They have a couple different arcade cabinets as well. I gotta find a wall that I like, but this one's gonna do for now until I can find something better. So I think that's it. Let's see who is streaming, guys. Let's take a look in a book. Kurt, I know you gotta get out of here, man.
Yeah, I got a couple minutes, but yeah. I'm just looking to see who's out there. And Chris MCC 2000 said they left a review recently before the podcast, but they've emailed us and messaged us on Instagram, so hopefully we got it.
Chris, are you the person from Philadelphia? Answer that in chat. You know what? Let's see. I think Nintendo Shack is streaming right now.
Okay, I'm just looking to see who else I've got, but that's as good a place as any.
Chonky Dong is streaming, but I don't really want to jump into him.
No. That would be a bad idea.
He's playing Warhammer. All right, so look, we're gonna raid into PSVG. That's a network. and they have different video game shows on there. We're gonna raid into the Nintendo Shack. They're a bunch of good guys, good ladies running that show. Show them some love when we get in there. Scream Nook Tavern from the heavens if you can. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight, and I guess we'll see you next Thursday.
Okay, there we go. That is a funky, funky rug.
So funky.
Felt like a YouTube video.
No.
None of the stories are like